In the beginning, Dr. Kim, who is very dedicated to her work, is busy making a powerful weapon for North and South Korea to use together. While she's working, she hears some news that worries her a lot. There's a huge comet coming very close to Earth, and it comes back every 433 years. This comet is dangerous because it's so close to us. At the same time, military leaders from both North and South Korea are having a secret meeting to decide something important. They're thinking about giving up the powerful weapon Dr. Kim made to make peace. Under pressure from other countries, they reluctantly agree to give up the weapon, hoping it will bring peace. But there's trouble brewing among them. A North Korean officer named Major Kong doesn't like the idea of giving up the weapon, so he plans to take it by force. Dr. Kim, who has the key to the weapon, gets caught up in Kang's plan. In the darkness of night, the weapon disappears, and Dr. Kim is caught in the chaos. Meanwhile, the South Korean military, led by Major Park, gets ready for a fight on the Han River. The situation gets tense, and soon there's a big fight with guns blazing, breaking the peace. Without their knowledge, a loud commotion in the night sky signals the arrival of a huge comet dangerously close to Earth. Its grand yet eerie presence makes the boat disappear into darkness. When Dr. Kim regains consciousness, she finds herself in a strange place, a lush field filled with men in old-fashioned clothes fighting fiercely. The strange comet has messed with time, sending Dr. Kim and 6 soldiers, 3 from North Korea and 3 from South Korea, back to the year 1572. It was a time of conflict between the Joseon Koreans and the invading Jeon. At first, they think it's all crazy, but when they face enemy soldiers, they realize the seriousness of their situation. They fight fiercely and manage to drive away the invaders, angering their leader. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out, leaving the leader wounded. With the enemies defeated, the villagers see them as heroes sent from the heavens and call them the heavenly soldiers for their incredible skills. As the confrontation between Park and Kong reaches a boiling point, Dr. Kim interjects, urging both sides to set aside their animosity temporarily. With the pressing concern of returning to their own time looming large, she emphasizes the urgent need to locate the missing nuclear warhead, a destructive force far surpassing the horrors of World War II's atomic bombs. Suspicions fall heavily on Kong, given his involvement in the disappearance, prompting him to vow relentless pursuit of the lost weapon. Meanwhile, amidst the Jeon camp, the leader chastises the commander for his perceived cowardice in fleeing the battlefield. Despite the commander's defense of his soldiers' exceptional capabilities, he is given a final chance at redemption, armed with a crossbow and tasked with eliminating the enigmatic heavenly soldiers. Within the sanctuary of the cave, tension simmers as a curious commoner attempts to pilfer from the slumbering soldiers. However, his misguided attempt at theft transforms into an act of unexpected benevolence, ensuring their comfort instead. Yet, his fumbled efforts draw the scrutiny of village guards, culminating in his capture along with 2 soldiers. The trio is paraded before the king, destined for a violent display of justice. Disguised as commoners, Kong and Park observe the judicial proceedings from the fringes, where the identity of the thief is revealed as Yi Sun-shin from the distant realm of Asan. To Park's astonishment, this name triggers a distant recognition, eventually dawning upon him that Yi is none other than the revered Korean warrior of legend, destined to alter the course of history by thwarting Japanese invasions. However, the reality before them starkly contrasts with the embellished tales passed down through generations. Yi appears far removed from the valorous figure immortalized in modern Korean lore, leaving Park grappling with disbelief. As the king decides to punish Yi and the 2 soldiers for stealing a small, metal ball, they are thrown into a dark prison cell. But their situation changes unexpectedly when another soldier helps them escape, and Yi reluctantly agrees to go with them. In the chaos, it's revealed that Yi had taken weapons from a cave before, which led to the soldiers chasing them. Even though Yi says he got rid of the weapons in the river, no one believes him. It's only when Park reveals Yi's true identity as a legendary warrior that everyone is shocked, realizing the difference between the thief they saw and the hero they've heard about. Despite managing to slip away unnoticed, Yi awakens to find the soldiers encamped in his midst, reverently addressing him as their general, seeking absolution. Suspicious of their intentions, Yi initially rebuffs their deference but finds himself outnumbered by their unwavering loyalty. Taking charge of Yi's transformation, Park embarks on a rigorous regimen to mold him into the esteemed general of prophecy. Though bewildered by the sudden shift in his circumstances, Yi gradually embraces his destined role amidst the crucible of training. Meanwhile, Kang and his compatriots persist in their relentless quest for the missing warhead, scouring every corner of the village in a futile pursuit. Despite meticulous mapping and exhaustive searches, the elusive nuke remains beyond their grasp, shrouded in the enigma of temporal displacement. In a moment of solitary contemplation, Yi ventures into the woods with the pilfered weapons, driven by visions of wealth in the future. Unbeknownst to him, a curious peasant girl stumbles upon his clandestine activities, intrigued by the foreign contraptions. Through a gesture of bribery, Yi wards off her prying eyes, burying the weapons beneath the earth's embrace, unwittingly sowing the seeds of unforeseen consequences. Despite their efforts to conceal their presence, the peasant girl emerges from the woods wielding a gun, unwittingly drawing attention from Jurchen spies tasked with locating the soldiers. The discovery of the firearm prompts the spies to intensify their search, realizing the soldiers must be nearby. Meanwhile, Park and his comrades continue to nurture Yi, treating him with reverence and care. While Dr. Kim expresses reservations about altering Yi's destiny, Park remains steadfast in his belief that their guidance is essential for Yi to fulfill his warrior potential. Amidst this, Dr. Kim unveils a revelation: the comet's periodic return, coinciding with their temporal displacement precisely 433 years earlier. With the next comet's imminent arrival promising their return home in 4 days, hope reignites. However, uncertainty looms over their precise location during the celestial event. Under the cloak of night, Park stumbles upon his soldiers rifling through Yi's possessions, unearthing a trove of plant roots, revealing Yi's clandestine life as a humble smuggler, shattering their perception of the legendary general-to-be. Angry and hurt by the soldiers' rejection of his past, Yi walks away, determined to prove himself. Feeling alone and frustrated, he meets a South Korean soldier who pretends to read his palm and predicts Yi's future success. Yi doesn't believe it and laughs it off, refusing to consider such big ideas. But before the soldier can say more, he's killed by an arrow. Yi is captured by Jurchen invaders, who torture him to get information. Their commander gives Yi a terrible choice: betray his friends or suffer even more. Yi refuses to give in, even though he's tortured badly. When the commander threatens a peasant girl who had helped Yi, he begins to question himself. Faced with an impossible choice, Yi agrees to lead the invaders to his friends' hiding places, even though he knows it will harm them. Sadly, the girl is brutally killed in front of Yi as a warning, and he is told he will suffer the same fate if he doesn't cooperate. Under the cover of darkness, Kang and his group launch a bold rescue mission, freeing Yi and taking control of the hidden nuclear warhead in a tent. Amid the chaos, they confront the Jurchen heir, who is armed with a stolen gun and has harmful intentions. In a quick and deadly showdown, Kang's fast reflexes secure their escape, leaving the heir dead behind them. As the sun rises, the discovery of the heir's body fills the Jurchen leader with intense grief, driving him to seek revenge. Both he and the commander are determined to hunt down the fugitives and get payback. Meanwhile, Yi struggles with the guilt of the innocent girl's death, finding a new sense of purpose in her tragic sacrifice. Despite hearing voices of doubt from his father and comrades, Yi decides to embrace his destiny with newfound determination. As they realize the nuclear threat they hold, Dr. Kim reveals that the countdown timer shows they'll be stuck in the past for longer than expected. Using the warhead's technology, they carefully calculate when and where the comet will return, preparing for their departure from the changed past. While they mourn their fallen comrade, villagers bring back the weapons they recovered and mourn for the girl who was killed. This tragedy strengthens their determination to seek justice. Major Park, who initially hesitated to change the past, changes his mind when Kang offers to help, realizing it's more important to protect innocent lives. As preparations for the upcoming battle progress, tensions rise between Kang and Park, leading to a heated argument. It's only when Yi steps in that they settle their differences, realizing the importance of unity. Park sees Yi's potential as a future leader, recognizing his strategic skills that guide their preparations. Yi spends a whole day carefully studying the area, figuring out the enemy's likely path, and planning a tactical move. His smart analysis and clever strategy impress even the experienced warriors, solidifying his role as a crucial figure in the upcoming battle. Yi's strategic insight offers a slim chance for victory, exploiting the terrain's bottleneck to neutralize the enemy's numerical advantage. However, the impending battle against seasoned Jurchen fighters weighs heavily on their minds, with the odds of survival bleak for the villagers. As the comet's accelerated pace hastens their departure, a fateful decision looms: return to their former lives or stand in solidarity with the imperiled villagers. Despite the allure of a safe return, the soldiers opt to honor their newfound bonds, resolved to face the impending danger head-on. Yet, as departure looms, Park's suggestion of fleeing to ensure Yi's survival ignites conflict, rupturing their camaraderie. Angered by Park's perceived betrayal, Yi's respect wanes, culminating in his forcible removal for his safety. Amidst this turmoil, the soldiers confront a harsh reality. Returning to the future means facing consequences for their past actions. Kang's 11th hour reversal, driven by a sense of duty, sets a poignant example, prompting others to follow suit, each with their motivations for remaining behind. In a poignant display of camaraderie, the soldiers entrust their mementos to Dr. Kim, a silent acknowledgement of their inevitable fate. However, Yi's tenacious spirit defies confinement, rallying alongside the soldiers and villagers in their desperate struggle. As the battle unfolds, the invaders unleash their onslaught, met with fierce resistance from the combined forces. Utilizing their modern weaponry, the soldiers decimate the initial wave, but the arrival of crossbow-wielding foes turns the tide against the outnumbered defenders. Amidst the chaos, sacrifices are made, with Major Kong and many others falling in defense of their cause. Only Sergeant Choi and Park remain standing, bearing witness to the brutal toll of war. In a climactic showdown, the leader of the Jurchens meets his demise, heralding a victory for the beleaguered villagers. Yet, elsewhere, Dr. Kim faces her perilous encounter, defended by a valiant guard against relentless assailants. As the comet arrives and causes another time jump, Dr. Kim and the warhead are sent back to the present, leaving behind a story of bravery and sacrifice from a tough fight. Dr. Kim tells their amazing story to skeptical Korean generals, who don't believe they time-traveled. But when they get the warhead back, they focus on that instead, not knowing what happened to the missing soldiers. They decide to give up the warhead to keep peace. In the end, Dr. Kim visits a memorial for Admiral Yi, feeling sad about the missing soldiers and Yi. Then the scene changes to the Battle of Myeongyang Strait, where Yi, now a respected general, gets ready to fight the Japanese Navy with determination. In the middle of the big battle, Yi leads 13 Korean ships against a lot of enemies, with Park and Choi helping him on his main ship. Their bravery and sacrifice will always be remembered in Korean history,